President Donald Trump delivered a major speech focused on election security, promising stronger protections, increased transparency, and renewed confidence in the American voting system before the upcoming midterm elections. Speaking before thousands of supporters, Trump said protecting election integrity remains one of his administration's highest priorities, calling for stricter voter identification requirements across the United States. The president emphasized that every legal vote should be counted accurately while preventing any form of fraud, promising new federal cooperation with state election officials nationwide. Trump announced plans to expand election monitoring programs designed to improve transparency and reassure American voters that future elections will be conducted fairly and securely. During the address, he praised election workers who continue serving communities despite increasing political pressure and public attention surrounding the nation's electoral process. The speech quickly became one of the most discussed political events across television networks, online news platforms, and social media throughout the United States. Supporters welcomed Trump's proposals, saying stronger election safeguards would increase public confidence and strengthen democratic institutions before millions of Americans head to the polls. Critics argued that several proposals could create unnecessary obstacles for some eligible voters, urging lawmakers to balance election security with voting accessibility for everyone. Political analysts described the address as a major campaign moment that could shape discussions leading into the competitive 2026 midterm election season across America. Congressional leaders from both major parties are expected to continue debating election-related legislation in the coming weeks following the president's high-profile announcement. Several state governments are also reviewing their election procedures while considering possible updates that align with federal recommendations and existing constitutional requirements. Election experts noted that technology, cybersecurity, and voter education will remain essential topics as officials prepare for upcoming nationwide voting operations. The administration pledged additional resources to strengthen cybersecurity systems protecting voter registration databases and election infrastructure from potential digital threats. Officials said cooperation between federal agencies and local election offices remains essential for ensuring secure, transparent, and efficient elections throughout the country. Trump encouraged Americans to participate peacefully in the democratic process and exercise their constitutional right to vote during future elections. Campaign representatives stated that election security will remain a central issue throughout upcoming political rallies, debates, and public appearances nationwide. Political observers expect both Republican and Democratic candidates to increase their focus on election policies as campaigning intensifies before voting begins. News organizations across America provided extensive live coverage, with millions of viewers following updates and reactions throughout the day. Social media platforms experienced significant increases in discussions, hashtags, and public opinions immediately after the president concluded his nationally televised address. Independent analysts said public trust remains one of the most important factors influencing voter participation and confidence in democratic institutions. Several governors welcomed continued dialogue between state and federal officials regarding improvements to election administration and security standards. Legal experts explained that any nationwide election reforms would likely require congressional approval before becoming official federal law. Community organizations encouraged citizens to stay informed through reliable sources while preparing for the upcoming election season. Polling organizations continue monitoring voter opinions regarding election security, transparency, and confidence in the democratic process across the nation. Economic and national security issues are also expected to influence campaign messaging alongside election integrity during the coming months. International observers continue watching U.S. elections closely because American political developments often influence global diplomatic and economic discussions. The White House stated that protecting democratic institutions remains a long-term commitment supported through cooperation with state election authorities. Political experts believe future debates over election security will remain among the most important issues discussed during the 2026 campaign season. Americans across the country are expected to closely follow upcoming legislative developments, campaign events, and policy announcements related to election reforms.